Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are happy to welcome you to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. There is so much breaking out, a lot of news. And before we even get to the news, we want to start the show of today by saying thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to all our viewers. Without you, we will not really have a great show. This show is for you. And we want to thank you for appreciating us. Feel free to send contributions. A lot of you are doing that. You comment on the videos, and some of you even write to us by email, some call us. We welcome all your comments, and we appreciate the engagement. The show of today is also going to be very interesting. You're going to really love it. With the show of today, we want to really let you know that we're already planning for a live show. The live show is going to begin in the next few weeks. So that way, in addition to the official show that we have, we're going to be coming in with live shows where we'll let you know in advance so that you can tune in. You'll be free to ask questions and engage us live. We like that. In addition, we're going to rebrand our website so that you can share stories, pictures, and whatever you have. We like that also. For the show of today, we're going to start by introducing a segment which we've been talking about for a while, and this is book reviews. We've told you that we started this show because we wanted to give you a voice and we wanted to educate you so that you can understand what is happening in the world. One of the ways in which you learn about the world is to read. As Mark Twain, a famous American writer, says, somebody who doesn't read is as well as somebody who is not learned, who cannot read. So the two of them are not different. We want you to be different, which is why we started this show. So from now, hence on, every week we're going to introduce at least one or two books that we are reading ourselves, and we'll share the books with you because we want you to start educating yourself to widen your horizons. One of the first books we're going to introduce this week is titled A Continent for the Taking. This book is by Howard French. Howard French used to write for the New York Times. He is a journalist. He went to Africa and wrote this book based on his reporting in the motherland. When you look at his book, you really appreciate his experiences. When you look at these experiences, you realize that the African colonial experience, slavery, racism, has really shaped the way events are taking place. It's true, we always have what we call the externalist school and the internalist school of African thought. The externalists tend to blame Africa's problems as being from outside. The internalists look inward for causes of African problems. With this show, we have a balanced approach. We synthesize both the externalist school and the internalist school. Then we'll present all the options. When we do this, you really appreciate what is happening, because when you look at the book by Howard French, he's an African-American writer, you see the way he puts in perspective things that are happening. A continent for the taking. What is Africa's problem? Africa's problem is simple. It's the same theme we've been having on this show every week. Africa is a rich continent, but everywhere they tell the big lie that Africa is poor, which is not true. You know that Africa has a lot of natural resources, but we allow foreigners to come and take our resources, which is why Africa has become a continent for the taking. People are looting, they use guns and weapons to trick us, distract us, then they take what we have. So this is really sad, and this is the benefit of this book. So we think we want you to have this book in your library. We're going to show you a picture of the book. Try to read it, and I think you'll really enjoy it. A second book that we're going to introduce you to this week is Escape from Prison. Escape from Prison is an anthology, a book of poems. The author of this anthology is called Mary Ngu. It's a writer from southern Cameroon. Okay, you can see the book on Amazon.com. Even A Continent for the Taking. You can also find this book on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. So we encourage you to look at both books They will really help you to start shaping your horizons, your level of thought, which is what we want to start doing on this show. Because you cannot succeed and change your life or change Africa if you've not changed yourself yet. So we want to make you to really become very, very sensitive to what is happening around you. You need to understand your surroundings. You need to master your surroundings. You need to become the master of your surroundings. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you have to be the master of your own surroundings. So that's why we're introducing these two books. So we just want to go to the news. The problem Africa faces today is just that Africa doesn't control the continent. We allow foreigners to come in and take what we have. This week, we are even having the meeting of the G20, which is where we want to start the show of today. President Biden and the other world leaders were meeting in Rome, Italy. But where was Africa? As big as Africa is, Africa was not really a member. In fact, only 2 African leaders were invited just like guests. They are not members of the club. They were just like tokens. One of them is Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. He was invited because he is the chairperson of NEPAD, New Partnership for Africa Development. You know, NEPAD has just been a lot of noise. It has not really done anything for the motherland in terms of development. You know that yourself. Then the other president who was invited to the G20 meeting in Rome is Felix Tshisekedi of Congo DRC. We're going to talk a lot about his country. Why was he invited? Well, he was invited because he is the present chairperson of the African Union, which replaced the Organization of African Unity. But as we've told you in past shows, the African Union needs a total makeover. This is a useless organization because it does not serve the interests that our forefathers, the Pan-Africanists such as Kwame Nkrumah, Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi was really the pillar behind the formation of the AU. He used his own resources to spearhead this movement. But soon after his death, what has happened to the AU? You just have a bunch of clowns, dictators, wasting their people's resources, colluding with foreign interests to steal from the people, letting the people die in poverty. So it's a joke when you look at the way things are set up. And we make the same thesis which we present to you all the time. When we look at Africa, what is really happening? Some of you even ask us questions because you were looking at what is happening in Africa, looking at what is happening in Ambazonia. Why is it that the foreign powers, the United Nations, they are not doing anything about the war in Ambazonia? Well, that's a question most of you really ask us. You call and you ask the same question. Because so many of you ask the same question, we're going to use this show to address that question in Ambazonia today. Well, you have to understand that for much of Africa, there is the entire global infrastructure of the world order, the new world order and the old world order. They are designed to perpetuate the impoverishment of Africa as a continent. So it's like if these Western countries do not sustain their way of living, then Africa will go up. But the Western countries want to sustain their way of living. So Africa has to stay down. Africa has to lose. So that's just what is happening. Then, of course, there is a form of white supremacy. Because when you look at the world order, whether it's the old world order or the new world order, it is based on white supremacy. If you don't know that, we're telling you. The white race is at the top, the African race is at the bottom. So, if you are African, the world order doesn't think you are important, you are unimportant. So you don't really matter. So which is why when you look at what is happening today in Ambazonia, a lot of people are dying. In fact, people are dying on both sides. Most people may think that because of the propaganda of the La République government, a lot of people who are dying are Amba boys. That's a lie. A lot of the people who are dying are the soldiers, the militias, the B from La République. We have so many pictures, but we don't want to show these pictures because a lot of censors are there. YouTube doesn't like to see these pictures. Facebook doesn't like to see them. So we cannot just show you. But if you go to like our WhatsApp page, you can see some of the pictures and we'll be able to share with you. People are dying on both sides. And the Ambazonia Restoration Forces have become even more lethal. They have rocket-propelled grenade. Let me let you take a minute to watch a rocket-propelled grenade in action.
The first motor is the cam. And the second motor is the cam. This is my oven. When I see, I will pick at this on target.
Yeah, my country people them when I see them, now the machine gun where they bring them for we for boy today, so they don't shoot them. When I see them, how we don't enter, we don't dig places them, don't scatter places them. As when I see them, now the work of the bullet them so. You scatter all place, they dig all place na dig 'em. Have you seen them? They dig all place na dig 'em. So also last hour. So when I see them, I country people them. Yes, this one so when I see them. Yes. And the work of the machine gun and the bullet and this, I will then dig this scatter all place. They don't scatter house them, but they never count them.
Thank you. Then there are other videos too, which really show you the way the Ambazonia Restoration Forces have upped their game to a very high level. Okay? The IEDs are even more deadly now. So they waste their time looking for Field Marshal Nopiri, but the war goes on. More and more people are dying. But the Western world doesn't care because these people are not important. Africans are not important. Ambazonians are not important. The Western world only cares about the resources that are in that part of the world. So long as they continue receiving those resources, so long as they can keep the Africans poor and down, they are happy. So the Western world is very hypocritical. So don't mind all the morality they sing in the mass media. Is all a joke. The big lie is Africa has resources, but they allow their people who are in leadership to connive with the Western world to steal these resources. So that's why the Western world is not even interested in a solution in Ambazonia. So long as they continue receiving all these resources from Ambazonia, why should they be interested? If Paul Biya is killing his people and giving them the resources, why should they care? They only care about resources. They don't care about the people who are dying, because the people who are dying, their lives do not really matter as far as they are concerned. So you guys have asked me this question, and I want to answer it now very well for you. So there's this whole system. It's just like a case system. You may think that the case system existed in old India. The case system still exists in the world of today. The international order is based on a case system. It's like a pyramid. At the top of the pyramid, you have the white race. At the bottom of the pyramid, you have the African race. Then you have the Asians in between, okay? So as far as they are concerned, Africans are not important. They can die, they can kill themselves. They are animals, so who cares? You may think these people brought us Jesus, they brought us the Enlightenment, but these people are savages. They are brutes. They don't really care about Africans. So it is for you now, as Africans, to rebel and try to change the status quo. If not, your people will continue suffering and they will continue dying. We hope this really addresses the question. You guys wanted to know why the Western world. Just know that international organizations such as the World Trade Organization, the World Bank, the IMF, the United Nations Organization, the AU, the EU, they are all tools of exploitation. They are tools of African exploitation. So if you don't know this, let us inform you today. So we need to know this, then you know that you have to rebel. So I think we've really addressed the question. You can see a lot of the videos and a lot of the pictures we can share with you on Ambazonia. The killing goes on both sides. Soldiers are dying. And the sad thing about it is when the La République government of Paul Biya, when they kill civilians, they put guns beside those civilians and tell you that they are Ambazonia Restoration Forces, which is a lie. They kill civilians and they set up the show. They make it look like this was a restoration fighter. So they always play this game. Then, of course, we've realized that the Ambazonia Restoration Forces are also dealing with the issue of blacklegs and traitors, enablers. Well, this happens in almost every revolution. And when you look at the American Revolution, they had a lot of blacklegs, a lot of enablers who were really supporting the British crown. But in the end, the people prevail. And we predict the Ambazonians are going to prevail. Already, we hear signs that it looks like La République is already talking to the United Nations because they are really frustrated that they cannot really defeat the Ambazonia Restoration Forces, so they want the United Nations to help them. So what is the United Nations going to do now? Well, this is going to be a subject for the next show. But for now, we just want to take you now to Chad.
Welcome to TAN TV. The African nation is more than just an online news channel. In fact, it's a local community of business professionals who want to connect with other like-minded individuals in the DMV area. We'll host several events throughout the year, and we'll also discuss important news topics that affect our culture. We look forward to connecting with you, and we hope that you follow us on our social media pages. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for watching TAN TV.
Because we hear that in Chad, Mahatma Idris Déby's son is killing a lot of protesters. And this is what happens in a banana republic. Was he elected president? No, nobody elected him. So he's killing people for his own spot, which is not good. So we just want to draw attention to this. And besides, we want to move now to Congo DRC. Congo DRC has been in the news, as we told you. Tshisekedi Felix was at the meeting of the G20 for 2021. He was a big shot. He was invited because he's the chairperson of the African Union. But that doesn't tell you that all is well in his own country. We've told you in the past that Felix Tshisekedi did not really win the election in Congo DRC. The winner of that election was Martin Fayulu. But because Felix Tshisekedi struck a devilish deal with Joseph Kabila, he became president. Now he's already preparing for re-election. Instead of winning re-election honestly, legitimately, he has brought Denis Kadima, who is a close friend, a crook, to become the chairperson of the electoral board so that he will gain victory easily. The Catholic Church and other religious groups are already against this because they realize that it's going to create more problems in the country. And when you look at what is happening in the East, it's because the people are not really happy. They feel that he's not a legitimate president. That's why they are creating these problems. And the problems will really continue. Then you even see the problems with child soldiers. It's really going on, and it will continue going on. So we're already predicting that the next election in the Congo DRC is going to be bloody because Felix Tshisekedi is trying to steal that election, but I think the opposition and even a lot of the religious organizations are hell-bent to not let him steal this election. He stole the first one because of the connivance of Joseph Kabila, but Joseph Kabila is not there to help him this time. So he's going to really win this free and fair. If he doesn't do that, Denis Kadima is not going to really help him. So he has brought Denis Kadima to be in charge of CNI because he wants him to say, I won. But it's not going to happen that easily this time. So we really know he's really trying, but he's not going to make it. So that's it. Then, of course, we'll take it to Gambia. Barrow, a useless guy, Barrow. Barrow came in, we're thinking that this guy will bring change after Yahya Jammeh. But it looks like Barrow is a whole mess. We don't really have a lot of time to go into the Gambia, but we think he's not really doing a good job. He's been trying to make friends with people of Yahya Jammeh's party. Finally, Yahya Jammeh had to speak from Equatorial Guinea, where he's living in exile. He fired members of his party and told them they did not really have the authority to act. He is the chairperson of that party. So we don't know how things are going to play out during the next election. But we think President Barrow is a mess. And we're thinking he will bring change, peace and order, but we're really disappointed the same way the Gambian people are disappointed in Mr. Barrow. Next, we'll move to Nigeria.
Hey, yo, Shape, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shape. When I say his services are the best in the states where he's born, he even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
We have a lot of stories in Nigeria. You know, we always love covering Nigeria. The first story, which just broke out as we're coming to the studio, is in the market in Anambra. There's going to be a governor's election soon, but it looks like Ibob, the indigenous people of Biafra, had warned their people to sit home and not participate in this election. But the politicians of both parties, APC and PDP, they really want to take advantage of this election, and money is passing hands, changing hands. So what happened? A few assailants came to the market and they started shooting. Then the police and other forces of law and order came and started shooting. When you saw this, you could not really believe it. So we'll tell you, this is Nigeria for you. We've always said, let's give peace a chance. We don't know why Buhari believes in militarization. Give peace a chance. Before you know it, Ibob will become a bigger problem. We've warned you. Ibob is going to become a bigger problem soon. Then, of course, the issue with open grazing. We still have pictures of northern herdsmen. They defy the ban on open grazing. Why? Is this because they feel their president is Fulani? So as Fulani, they own Nigeria? That's the perception, and other Nigerians are really feeling bad. They feel like because they are not Fulanis, the Buhari government is constraining them. If they were Fulanis, then they will have a free reign. They will be able to do whatever they want in the country, and nobody would tell them to obey the law. So this is really sad. But already, the only good thing we heard from Mr. Buhari this week is when people started telling him to try to change the constitution so he can run for a third term, he said no. He wants to leave in May 2023. He doesn't want to participate in any constitutional disarray. So he doesn't want to participate to mess up the constitution, so he will respect the constitution of Nigeria. So we thought we applaud him for that, because that would have created another problem. A third term project usually creates problems in the country, okay? Sometimes even leads to a coup d'etat. So we think he has thought things well. On the positive side, we're also going to take you to Sierra Leone. Last time we mentioned what was happening in Sierra Leone. They were encouraging women to participate in politics. But I think this week we saw the ban on corporal punishment of students in school. So we think this is really good. Corporal punishment should really be banned. We applaud that message, and we think teachers should learn to treat students well. When they should look for other methods to punish students, not whipping them or flogging them. We live in modern times, so let's do things the modern way. So I know some of the teachers in Sierra Leone do not like about this ban, but we think the government did well. Then finally, we have to end the show in Sudan. Sudan has had a coup d'etat. We've spoken about it. But this coup d'etat is really a disgrace, because the people do not support this coup d'etat. The leader of the junta, I will not even call his name because he's a very, very despicable person. He basically was in charge of the transition with the civilian leaders. But because he wanted to dictate to the civilian leaders, he decided to usurp power. So even if he says he's going to give power to a civilian, basically what he's trying to do is to be ruling from behind, then the civilian leaders will be doing what he wants. Is that democracy? So long as there's no rule of law, even he himself would be toppled in another coup d'etat. Because coups will not really last because the people are not obeying the rules of democracy. Because the people want to choose their leaders. If you force yourself on the people are going to kick you out. And this is what we think is going to happen. Already a lot of people have been dying in Sudan, and it's a disgrace because Sudan just had the first coup d'etat when they ousted Omar Bashir. But since then, more and more people are dying, but the people are hell-bent fighting for their rights. They really want to fight for their rights. So we think we've really come to the end of our show. But before we go, we really want to thank you for watching this show, and we're asking you to support this show and start preparing for the live show because we really want to get you involved in whatever we're doing. We thank all our viewers. We thank all our subscribers. So you have to know that the show is for you. Feel free to comment and also feel free to share this show with your friends and family. The goal of this show is to really give you a voice. So if there's something that you don't like, please feel free to communicate with us. We are your messengers. We want to do what you like. And please tell us what you want. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Is your EMR EHR COVID-19 ready? If not, you do not know what you are missing. Why do you suffer in silence? Be smart. Turn to Alexia HTC today. Alexia HTC is the leader in virtual solution and communication technology in these times of pandemic crisis. When the unexpected happens, who are you going to call? Alexia HTC. Come and see how Alexia HTC Cloud Communications are enabling your fellow healthcare providers to consult with patients virtually and making big money. Alexia HTC also enables your employees to work remotely during the COVID-19 crisis. Are your employees safe? Do not jeopardize the health and safety of your patients and practice. What can Alexia HTC do for you? Alexia HTC is the new Colossus, the sister of physicians, who gives you back liberty, that is, the freedom to practice medicine your way. Vivacious virtual visits wherever you please. Amazing e-prescribing. Quick access to patient information. Easy access to medical records from other providers. Rapid drug allergy checks. Integrated lab tests and results. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled doctors yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your greedy corporations. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed physicians, to me. I give them the refuge. The happy home of Alexia HTC. Act now. Browse alexiahtc.com or call 240-350-1131.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created alexiahtc.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. alexiahtc.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing. tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com. Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.